Look, we're going to use the at least 59 people killed, at least 149 people wounded. Those numbers are going to go up. There's just no question about that. I mean, you have fierce fighting in a number of locations around the country. You mentioned Chernobyl. Russian forces quickly overtaking that area. We understand they are still in control. The other thing that went down today that was of huge importance was Russian paratroopers went into an airfield 15 miles outside of Kyiv, and for a short
For the rest of us that aren't Ukrainians, I think the world, quite frankly, Kira, is surprised by the will of the Ukrainian people to stand up and fight. Are you?
Well, I'm not surprised. We have been fighting Putin for the last 8 years, and we had 3 revolutions in our country when we did not agree with what was going on with the direction of where we're moving in. But right now, it's a critical time because we know that we not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order for the democratic countries. We knew that we are the shield for the Europe.
They know that we can't go there. Putin is trying to bait the trap so that we go in, and that's could be the beginning of World War III. Putin totally irresponsible, using weapons that are not allowed under the Geneva Convention. Putin, who threatens use of chemical weapons, nuclear, and the rest. So they know that we can't, but it's the ask. Now, he was this morning more. If we can't have a no-fly zone, let us have our own, and we need the airplanes to come in. No.
Imagine a future. The freight trucks that deliver bread and milk to our grocery store shelves, and the buses that take children to school and parents to work. Imagine all the heavy-duty vehicles that keep our supply lines strong and allow our economy to grow. Imagine that they produced 0 emissions. Well, you all imagined it. That's why we're here today. Because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen.
I'm sick of this stuff. We have to talk about it because the American people think the reason for inflation is government spending more money. Simply not true.
Refuse to go along with this, and I'm seeing through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil!
Government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure something out for all that.
Please send me this video. At the very beginning, I couldn't get it from the tweets, from the Twitterverses when I saw that in the Discord. The first one, the very first one that was played, I saw it in our Discord chats.
Oh.
And I couldn't get it to download because it was already taken off Twitter.
I'll get that to you. We'll get that to you if you want it.
It's so
I got that saved.
Well, the woman's like, "Oh shit! Like, God, get it! Get the thing out of your freaking head, you son of a bitch! The hell is wrong with you?" He's like,
"Oh, here, let me help you. Hurry! Let's bury your head underneath that."
God. Oh my God.
On this wonderful day, after, I suppose it's the day after now because it is the 17th now, right? On this wonderful day.
Oh yes, happy St. Patty's Day to all of you all.
Yeah, it's now St. Patrick's Day.
It's the 17th again.
Yesterday, 2 years ago, it was 2 weeks.
Oh yes, the anniversary of 2 weeks
We're
to
here.
slow the spread.
We're here to actually talk about something totally different.
Yes, to celebrate.
We're just here, and we're letting you know so that you can celebrate with us.
Mercilessly increasing tyranny of our government. We shall celebrate with war talks of killing the Ruskies, right?
Yeah, we're going to see if we see what we can talk about here, and really, I mean, if you actually see what we're actually, it says Congress response to Zelenskyy, and pretty much they responded. They responded in a big way. Oh my Lord, was it a big way? And
God, it's like a freaking Twitch stream, and all the simps just toss the money. Like it's
right. They're like,
that's literally what it was. It was just like, oh yeah, here's my
it.
ASMR stream of like, oh no, remember Pearl Harbor? It's so terrible. There was blackness in the skies and all the rest. Like, oh my God. And they just like throw all of our money at them. All of our tax money that should be used for our government. No, they just throw them at these Yahtzees over there, and just, oh yeah. We'll just,
Right. Okay, so
they were like orgasming over there, and they were just like, oh my God, just like throw the money. Anyway,
and that's what we're going to do. We're going to throw him some money, but first throw him some money. We're going to read what he had to
throwing them
say.
a dime. The
If
hell
you
are
go and
you?
we can play the video that's at the very bottom of this piece of article here or whatever. But this video here,
it's all in Swedish.
It's or Yiddish or some other whateverness that's not English.
Just whatever.
I just don't understand what he's saying. So to understand what he's saying,
whatever the language.
And you can see this is president.gov.ukraine.ua. This is his actual website. This is where he posts all his stuff. I mean, pretty, intelligent if you think about it. I mean, he has his own website.
Oh, bullshit. Someone else is posting for him, for God's sake.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
So,
at this point, everything that I have found out about this individual, I think he's just a complete dumbass at this point. I used to think that like, maybe he's kind of smart. Maybe he's trying to do like, at this point, I'm just like, oh my God, he just doesn't even know what the hell. He's just, barely hanging on to reality here. And he's just like, okay, we gotta, do this and that. Anyway, sorry for talking about.
No, you're fine. So, the way it goes, and it starts out, it says, Mrs. Speaker, members of Congress, ladies and gentlemen, Americans, friends,
Romans, countrymen. Oh, sorry.
I'm proud to greet you from Ukraine, from our capital. Depending on what side you're actually for, it's either Kyiv or Kiev. From a city that is under missile and airstrikes by Russian troops daily, but it does not give up, and it didn't even think to give up for a single minute, just as dozens of other cities and communities in our country which found themselves in the worst war since World War II.
Okay, I would like to ask the question, how many days has this been going on since they've been parked outside of Kiev? And he says that they're being bombarded every day. Oh, wait, no, that's the dumbass. Watch Patrick Lancaster. But what the hell? But that's done by the Ukrainians. But the other thing, again, right, like just common sense dictates here. Do you think that Russia pulling up thermobaric missiles up to the areas of Kiev, like they have these things parked like miles outside of Kiev, right? Like if he was actually bombarding these places, do you think that Kiev would still be standing? But like, what the hell? They've just been there for like what, 2 weeks now, maybe more. So like, but hey, he says everything's just being like, they're just being bombarded and the sky is black every day. And it's like, yeah, bullshit. You're outside walking around streaming yourself on Facebook.
World War II. I mean, you've been dealing with Russian aggressions for quite some time. This is not the first war that the Russian came after Ukraine for.
How about like the past 8 years? They've been firing back and forth at each other, but like, what the hell?
Do we just forget about Crimea? Crimea doesn't exist anymore? Maybe it does. So, article says, I have the honor to greet you on behalf of the Ukrainian people, brave and freedom-loving people. For 8 years, they have been resisting the aggression of Russian Federation. They sacrificed the best children, sons, and daughters to stop the full-scale Russian invasion. Now, the fate of our state is being decided. The fate of our people. It is being decided whether Ukrainians will be free, whether they will preserve their democracy. Democracy. Yeah, because that's what we all want is democracy. Because democracy is the best. Russia has attacked more than just our land and our cities. It went on a brutal offensive against our values, basic human values. It threw tanks and planes and against our freedom, against our right to live freely in our country, choosing our own future, against our desire for happiness, against our national dreams, just like
Oh my
yours,
God.
ordinary people of America, just like those of everyone in the United States.
Oh my God.
I remember your Rushmore National Memorial, the faces of your prominent presidents, those who've laid the foundations of America as it is today, democracy, independence, freedom, and care for everyone.
Care for everyone?
Constitutional Federal Republic. Thank you very much. It's not a democracy. Go self.
I think your audio just censored itself.
Just like those of everyone in the United States. I remember your. Oh, I already read that one.
Yeah,
I
that was about
remember
to
your
say.
Russian memorial. Who is everyone who works diligently, who lives honestly, who respects the law.
Oh, you what?
Because yeah, we all respect the law, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking in particular, he's trying to compare himself and Ukraine to like, oh yes, Americans that respect the law. Really? Like your Ukrainian government respects a goddamn law that exists.
Right. We
Anyway.
in Ukraine want the same for ourselves. All that is normal part of life for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans, in our great history.
Your great history.
Maybe I should scroll down a little bit. In your great history, you have pages that to understand Ukrainians. Send us now when it is needed most. Remember Pearl Harbor? Terrible morning on December 7th, 1941, when your sky was black from the planes attacking you? Just remember that. Yeah, they're morons, and they attacked boats on a Sunday that were empty. Remember September 11th, a terrible day in 2001, when evil tried to turn your cities into battlefield, when innocent people were attacked from the air in a way no one expected. I won't get into that. I won't say anything about September 11th because the stuff that I believe is not what everybody else believes, and we'll just leave it at that. In a way, you could not stop it. Our state experiences this every day, every night. For 3 weeks now, different Ukrainian cities, Odessa, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Sumy, Zhytomyr, Lviv, Mariupol, Dnipro. Russia has turned the Ukrainian sky into a source of death for thousands of people.
Oh my God. That was beautiful.
Russian troops have already fired nearly 1,000 missiles at Ukraine.
Look up there at the other paragraph that you just read, right? He says, in a way, you could not stop it. In a way, you could not stop it.
You could not stop it.
In a way, I mean, maybe you could. It's like, so maybe we could have?
We may
Are you
have the
saying
potential of trying to maybe do something if we weren't so.
I guess. Are you
stupid?
saying perhaps a little something that you're not wanting to say, but saying anyway? What?
Why did we wait to actually go to the war? Why did they wait to go to war? Russia wait to go to war with Ukraine until Joe Biden was president?
Oh, I explained this as to why this was taking place. It's why it's taking place in the timing in which it takes place in my newest Rumble video that I will be posting, that I have recorded, and that I will be posting here probably later tonight. And you all can go watch. It is a 3-part.
Tonight,
it is very
12 or 1:30 in the morning for them. So tonight could be, there's quite a bit of time left for them for it to be tonight.
Oh well, nighttime of now or whatever.
Oh, so it could be within the next 5 hours.
Yes.
There you go. That's good. That's fun information.
Yeah, so.
But I asked the question, and now I don't get the answer. I have to wait for the answer. You hear that, everybody? Everybody that's here watching, I've seen chat for having to wait. Good stuff. So it seems as though we're at a stopping point.
I think you said F. You didn't say what else
that's
after.
In chat that just posted an F should make sure they go down below and subscribe. Hit the share button, like this. Hit that bell and make sure you click all and you get notified every time that we go live. We're going to try doing this at midnight every night that I don't work. Now, here's the fun one is I told my job that I was going to be moving and explained what was going on. And I gave her 2 months as opposed to 2 weeks so that she had plenty of time to find somebody, a person get properly trained. And she says, I'll have your position filled by April or whatever. So pretty much I'm done at the end of this month. So next month, though I'll be packing stuff up, certain things will not get packed up. It'll be to a point where I'll be able to actually do something for hopefully at least 3 weeks out of the month. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be produced next month. It's going to be interesting.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Because we had to try getting some kind of following. I mean, I love the 26 people that are, following us right now, and they've all
loves you.
Anybody that actually has subscribed that hasn't actually gotten a Discord link, hit me up. Hit up America Shirts. Hit up Grimm's Bar. Hit up Jimmy YouTube. Any one of us has some kind of way to get you a link into Discord. Like I said, subscribers get a free link to Discord. Now, this is a temporary thing. Eventually, I don't know what the number is going to be. I'm going to stop giving away free Discord, and that's where people will be able to find and go and pay the $5 or whatever it is to locals to get the Discord link. And it seems to be a going thing or whatever. A lot of people like to do it, and it seems to work very well. Eventually, that will happen.
But until then, you can get special VIP access.
Then, right, you get VIP access. When I say VIP access, we're on Discord at some point in time every day
Just about.
for some period of time doing something, talking, watching shows, and just we use our Discord for more than just having another place to talk to people. We actually conversate with each other.
Conversate? Conversate? Well, how do you pronounce that? I don't know this thing. I know how to text.
You don't know how to conversate? Oh,
well,
there's
see,
if
I'm
you really want to text and you don't want to join us for actual verbal conversations, we'll talk to chat.
I'm a liberal. I only talk to people through Twitter and Facebook. I only know how to text things
if you're
and
a liberal
call people
and you actually
Yahtzees.
subscribe to the channel, I'll still give you a Discord link. You might get chewed up and spit out and thrown back out the back door, but just saying, if you want to try it, give it a try. Maybe you're one of those that actually has this huge, muscular, strong, where you just like, it's just water off the back. I can take that. Come on, bring it on. Let's do it.
We're talking about liberals here. We're not,
right, liberals. Right.
I'm like a real liberal, like
there
a
might be a
liberal
that actually has a spine.
They do exist. They're just very few in number. There's like 1%.
Okay, so let's get back to this. So,
oh God, do we have to? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Russian troops have already fired nearly 1,000 missiles at Ukraine, countless bombs. They use drones to kill more precisely. This is a terror Europe has not seen for over 80 years. And we ask for a response from the world, for the response to terror. Is this too much Is this too much of a request to establish a no-fly zone over Ukraine? Is to save people, humanitarian no-fly zone, conditions under which Russia will no longer be able to terrorize our peaceful cities every day and night. If that's too much, we offer an alternative. You know what defense systems we need? C-300 and other similar systems. I forgot. I was going to look up what the C-300 actually was, so that we actually knew what they were actually looking at trying to get for a system. So let's do a quick search. Unless America Shirts wants to actually look that up for me.
Well, maybe I can.
You want to do that for me? Got that?
Oh yeah, I got Jerry Nadler's old fat face pulled up here on me.
Whatever this, once he figures it out, we'll stop and let him. You know how much depends on the battlefield in the ability to use aircraft. Powerful, strong aircraft to protect your people, your freedom, your land. Aircraft that can help Ukraine, that can help Europe. And you also know that they are available, but on land, not in the Ukrainian sky. They do not protect our people. I have a dream. Oh, no. Don't be trying to quote somebody. Come on now. Stop it. These words are known to each of you. Today I can say I have a necessity to protect our sky, the necessity for your decision, your help, and it will mean exactly the same thing you feel when you hear, I have a dream. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, we'll stop right there before we go too far here.
Yeah, before I get too pissed off.
I
mean, the guy that has Yahtzees running around in his government is saying, "I have a dream," like he's quoting Martin Luther King Jr. Like the arrogance of this individual is off the charts. He wants to quote Pearl Harbor, 9/11, and MLK. Like, really? For this? This is his dream.
He
like,
wants
what
a
the hell?
He wants this rocket launching air removal device is pretty much what it comes down to. I don't know what it actually technically says that it actually does. I'm assuming it shoots down just about anything and everything. It's almost like probably close to like a like the Iron Dome.
And there's like the truck where it's on a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's them like pointing it and stuff.
Right. It's going to take down anything and everything. It's going to take down, rockets. It's going to take down airplanes. It's going to take down anything that's flying, any kind of projectiles that can possibly take down tall buildings, anything.
Here's the missile going off.
Yeah.
This is an S-300, not necessarily a C-300, but, kind of, I guess, the same idea.
So now, don't get us wrong. We're totally for the people of Ukraine, but not the government that they're trying to push. They're trying to push this new world order stuff, and just not about that. I'm not saying that I'm for Putin either. Obviously, he's doing something that's not necessary. And he's moving, doing things that are, maybe a little rough, not that land that he's going after hadn't been disputed for the last how many thousands of years. I mean, if you look up, actual history, you see that there's a lot of groups of people that have lived in that area. Ukraine is grateful to the United States for its overwhelming support, for all that your state and your people have already done for our freedom, for weapons and ammunition, for training and funding, for leadership in the free world, which helps put pressure on the aggressor economically. I'm grateful for President Biden for his personal involvement, for his sincere commitment to the defense of Ukraine and democracy around the world.
I could throw up.
Right? You can hear the anger in my voice as I'm reading this. I'm grateful for your resolution, which recognizes all those who commit crimes against the Ukrainian people as war criminals. However,
oh my God. Watch Patrick Lancaster.
Which recognizes all those who commit crimes against the Ukrainian people as war criminals, but you're not a war criminal when you're actually creating war yourself.
You're like putting, things on top of buildings and so forth, where civilians are located. Like they do in the Middle East.
Nothing similar like Syria. What? Oh. That place that we've been at for about 11 years now. Get September 22nd, something like that. It's 11 years. So,
God.
Right? 10 years, 5 months, something like that. That's ridiculous. Why?
Because this new world order... allegedly, folks, of course, right?
We offer the United States to impose sanctions against all politicians in the Russian Federation who remain in office and do not sever ties with those responsible for the aggression against Ukraine. From State Duma deputies to the last official who lacks the morale to sever ties with state terror, all American companies must leave Russia, their market. Leave this market flooded with our blood. Ladies and gentlemen, members of Congress, take the lead. If you have companies in the constituencies that sponsor the Russian military machine, keeping their business in Russia, you have to put pressure so that the Russian state does not receive a single dollar, which it spends on the destruction of Ukraine, on the destruction of Europe. All American ports must be closed to Russian goods and ships. Peace is more important than profit, and we must defend this principle throughout the world together.
Oh my God. So here, President Zelenskyy is saying, basically what he's saying is, hey, Americans, you should want to pay more for your goods and more for your gas because I say so. Because it's beneficial for me and for quote unquote democracy.
So that my country still stands.
I mean, what kind of an arrogant son of a bitch? I mean, like, really? Again, like all American ports should be closed to Russian goods and ships. Peace is more important than profit. So peace in your country is more important than Americans having to pay. I mean, we should have nothing to do with you. Period. Other than decent trade relations, a good relationship, whatever, la-di-da, right? Like,
that's NATO.
Right? But right. But
screw the UN.
Right,
just toss
exactly.
it all out the window.
Yes, more specifically, we should take a bulldozer and shove it off into the ocean, like the whole damn building. But
right, we don't need any of it.
Right, exactly.
Not a single bit of it is good for anything.
Exactly.
Throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Just start everything all over again from scratch. Be like, there shouldn't be alphabet companies that are running around thinking that they're all high and mighty and they're going to take everybody down for this, that, and the other. Stop it. You're the one that's doing the stuff that's wrong. You're the one that's creating this stuff, causing things like this to, continue to fester and creating wars. And stop it.
Yeah. But it's amazing. Peace is more important than profit. So he's telling you to your face, listen, Americans, the peace in my country is more important than you profiting from anything. So you need to make peace in my country or you shouldn't profit. Like, who the hell does he think that he is? To tell our Congress, our government, our people, close off your ports because peace should be
apparently
more
they
important
felt moved enough by what he said that they felt that it was necessary to bolster everything that they've handed out. And we're going to get into that. There's like 4 videos that we're going to play after we're done reading this.
Yeah. And of course, what I was saying, it is a bit rhetorical. Yeah. It is a bit rhetorical of a question, I guess, that what I was asking, because he knows exactly who he is. He's a globalist. He's one of them. And he just says it and they're just like, oh my God, yes. And you just do whatever. They just do whatever, the globalists do, right? They give the money around, they spread the money around to the United States, they give out, and all he's doing is just sitting there being a mouthy, entitled little bitch and telling everybody to do what the hell to do. And they're just like, yep, okay, because our World Economic Forum masters said to do this, so that's what we're doing, folks. That's who pays the bills.
This guy is so arrogant. We have already become part of an anti-war coalition, a great anti-war coalition which unites many states, dozens of states, those who reacted in a principled manner to President Putin's decision to Russia's invasion of our state. but we have to move on. We have to create new tools to respond quickly, to stop the war. The full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine began on February 24th, and it would be fair if it ended on a day in 24 hours so that evil is punished immediately. Today, the world does not have such tools. The wars of the past have prompted our predecessors to create institutions that were supposed to protect us from war, but they don't work. We see it. You see it. So we need new ones, new institutions, new alliances, and we offer them. No, we don't need alliances. No, we don't need institutions to tell us, what, just none of it.
But this is
Just stop
interesting.
it.
This is interesting that he says this, because earlier this week he was talking publicly about how, yeah, we can't join NATO, sorry. But hey, maybe if you like reform NATO and like call it something else, I guess is what he's saying. Like, like another alliance, right? Like, it'll be the same damn thing, right? But it'll just be like, oh, well, it'll be
Right.
NATO plus Ukraine, right? Or something stupid, or like maybe it'll be something a little more fancy. I don't know. But he's just there like, oh yeah, because he wants a no-fly zone in Ukraine, which, pardon my past comments, I didn't know exactly what I was talking about with the no-fly zone in Ukraine. We were at the presidential State of the Union at the time. But if you have a no-fly zone in Ukraine that is set up by NATO, and NATO says this is a no-fly zone, which again, it's like, what the hell? Like NATO just randomly says
The
like a
second
certain
that
area of the
anything
world.
enters that no-fly zone, it doesn't matter what it is, NATO's going to take it down.
Exactly. And then you would have full-blown war in the skies between Russia and and well, not just Ukraine, but Russia and NATO and the NATO alliance. And you would have
it doesn't even
full-blown world war.
Be an airplane from somebody. It can be a Japanese airplane carrying passengers. And the second that there's a no-fly zone, go fly through there, and boom, done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on Joe Biden. It's going to be on Joe Biden, because Joe Biden's the one that's the final say on what happens.
He's for whoever gives him his oatmeal.
Well, exactly. We know that Ukraine's in his back pocket. So being that Ukraine's in his back pocket, maybe it's in his front pocket. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, God.
Right? But here's what Zelenskyy says. And he says, we offer to create an association, U24, United for Peace, a union of responsible states that have the strength and conscience to stop conflicts immediately, provide all necessary assistance in 24 hours, if necessary weapons, if necessary sanctions, humanitarian support, political support, everything necessary to preserve peace quickly, to save lives. So, U24, really? Which states do you choose? Because if I'm not mistaken, NATO has how many? 30?
Yeah, how many does NATO have?
Removing a couple of them because you don't want them in there? You're going to add yourself, and we're going to take the other ones out because I don't really like those guys. Who are you? This guy. In addition,
30 members. Yeah, NATO has.
Right,
you're right. You're right. 30 members.
No, I know. In addition, such as an association can provide assistance. I know. Can provide assistance for those who are experiencing natural disasters, man-made disasters, who fell victim to humanitarian crisis or epidemic. Remember how.
Wait.
In addition, such an association could provide assistance to those who are experiencing natural disasters, man-made disasters, and who fell victim to humanitarian crises or epidemic.
Plandemic.
So right,
Ah,
so it's kind of, to me, this little association kind of has the
a
feelings of
little
like,
bit of Bill Gates involved
well, maybe
then.
him, but like I'm talking like my feeling on the association. It's more like the FEMA, have that kind of a push over the people.
So like sort of like a European Union's version of FEMA,
Yeah, yeah,
where
pretty
it's
much.
like, oh, if
But
anybody
this is the
in this little
U-24, so
alliance or
this is a
whatever,
global thing. This is 24 states. Um,
which 24? Of course, he
yeah,
doesn't list
well,
them.
it doesn't have them listed. I don't know if the U-24 is an actual a thing. Like he actually, obviously, the homework that I didn't do all of it because I didn't have time to. See if we can't figure out what the U-24 is. Yeah, I really don't know what the U-24 is. It doesn't, I mean, I'd have to do some deeper looking. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to just pull something up, off the top of my feed or whatever.
Oh my
Are you
God.
catching something?
Keep reading in this speech because I just read
Yeah.
a
Well,
quote.
see, that's what I'm thinking. I want to get back to reading this and finish it because there's some other stuff. Oh, Dwight Zombie from Twitch says, "What's up, dude? You're a righty or a lefty?" Well, we have the tendency to kind of, be against the corporate state, So I mean,
Yes, we are freedom-loving Americans. You could say more populist type, but we're definitely not lefties.
and I really don't classify myself as a righty either, because I
Well,
mean,
no, not in the more modern sense of like,
right, not in the
we're
right.
not like Sean Hannity or whatever, right? Like,
We're not like Tim Pool. We're not what he calls himself, a milk toast fence sitter. We're not one of those either. We kind of. I don't know. I don't know what else to say to that. But yeah, absolutely. If you have more to, throw your comments up, or we'll totally read
yeah,
your stuff.
hi. Nice to see you there,
Yeah, nice.
Mr.
Thanks for joining us.
Dwight Zombie.
There's plenty of links that you can follow us at. I am Koolfrogg, and you can find me at Koolfrogg almost everywhere. America Shirts is, America Shirts, rfirst.com. He's got his own website. He kind of
The most base t-shirts on the planet, don't you know?
You can come and check us out. If you let's see. Let's see if we can't get through some of this. So it says, such as association can provide. Oh, we read that one. Remember how difficult it was for the world to
There it is.
do the simple thing. Give everyone certain particular jabs for particular diseases, sicknesses.
Now,
illnesses.
again, keep this in context, right? So, like, he talks about, right, a little further up, right, like, oh, we need a U-24 so that we can, just like the paragraph right above there, right? Because we need it for epidemics, like potential epidemics, right? And then, oh, we need to give everybody a jab and a Bill Gates stabby, right? Remember how hard it was to do that, for the world to do just the simplest little thing, Yeah, this guy's a complete globalist
Jimmy
hacky.
YouTube says boosters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, dumb things.
Dumb things. Yeah. Right. So like, okay, we got the epidemic talk, we got the stabbies, we got the jabbies talk, we got the coof talk. It's like, yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
this is the whole, like, hey,
So, I mean,
we
you
need
can
to
see the next few
create
sentences
a
on there. It
new
just kind of
world
says to
order.
prevent certain things, and to help with the
Allegedly.
Something about human losses. So, ladies and gentlemen, Americans,
Oh, to prevent new
such an
strains.
alliance, the U-24 had already been formed. I believe it would have saved thousands of lives.
And made sure everybody was jabbed
Oh, okay,
18,000
hold on
times
here.
up their rear.
We got quite the message here from Dwight Zombie. He says, cool. Well, keep up the good fight. Definitely not lefties is awesome. I'm lagging pretty hard on your stream for some reason. Gonna bail. We need more people on the good team on Twitch. Peace out. Good luck with your stream.
Oh, well,
Thank
thanks,
you,
dude.
Dwight Zombie. Don't forget to check out my link tree /Koolfrogg. That's KOOLFROGG. And when you actually go and you check those links out in there, there's a couple of them that are actually active. We can hit up YouTube and hit one of us up, and we'll get you a link to a Discord, and you can hold a conversation with us about our fight.
Yeah. And I also have a Rumble as well, along with my website, if you want to check
There's
that out.
numbers.
If you can still hear us, I don't
We
know.
all got links, and this video will have links in description for us as well as a couple others. You can get a hold of us, and any of us should be able to help you.
Oh, yes, Jimmy YouTube, right? 2
Yep.
years to curve the spread. Right. Just on the anniversary, right? And then it's like, oh, yes, guess what? We need a new alliance because there could be an epidemic of some sort. And, remember how hard it was to get those jabs into people, It's like that's his concern. That's a part of his concern is like, let's get as many jabs as possible. Like he's claiming he's being bombarded into oblivion with Russian thermobaric missiles or whatever the hell. And like, oh, that's a part of your biggest concern is like that sort of, it's like, really? How does that even enter your mind? I thought you were being shelled all the time. Like, I mean, as he's talking, I'm expecting in that video to be hearing like boom, 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 in the background, and you probably heard none of that. And that's what he makes it sound like.
All right.
I know I'm not Rachel Maddow with tick, 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 boom, tick, 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 boom. I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude.
Not so excited about this U-24. I wish I knew more about it and which.
I don't think anybody does. I think he just blurted it out there. It's like some sort of globalist hacky talk,
right? Because I mean, what happened to the 30 that are in the in NATO? It just doesn't make sense to me. So confusing. What happened to the other 6 or 7? Because if you're trying to put yourself in there, that takes another spot. Because he's not currently in NATO.
Yeah, so either this would supersede NATO or this would just be alongside of NATO, just so that Ukraine could be involved in another alliance of some kind.
Right, because they don't have enough alliances that they're already not part of?
Yeah, that they want to become part of, and then, oh, wait, no, Russia doesn't like that, so no, we're not going to.
Aren't they even part of something with Russia? Oh, go figure. If such an alliance, the U-24, had already been formed, I believe it would have saved thousands of lives in our country and many other countries that need peace, and so crucially, that suffered inhumane destruction. I ask you to watch one video now. video of what Russian troops did to our land. We have to stop this. This must prevent such, or we must prevent such things. Preventively destroy every aggressor who seeks to conquer another nation. Please watch. And in the end, to sum it up, today it is not enough to be a leader of the nation. Today it takes to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Peace in our country does not depend anymore only on you and your people. It depends on those next to you and those who are strong. Strong does not mean big. Strong is brave and ready to fight for the life of his citizens and citizens of the world, for human rights, for freedom, for the right to live decently and to die when your time comes, not when it's wanted by someone else, by your neighbor. Today, the Ukrainian people are defending not only Ukraine, we're fighting for the values of Europe and the world, sacrificing our lives in the name of the future. That's why today the American people are helping not just Ukraine, but Europe and the world to keep the planet alive, to keep justice in history. Now, I'm almost 45 years old. Today, my age stopped when the hearts of more than 100 children stopped beating. I see no sense in life if it cannot stop death. And this is my main mission as the leader of my people, great Ukrainians. And as the leader of my nation, I am addressing President Biden. You are the leader of the nation, of your great nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Thank you. Glory to Ukraine.
Oh my God. And if you watch the video that he says, like, hey, you need to watch this.
Research on Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that means right there. If you watch the video that he presents, and I don't know if you should pull it up or not, but
I didn't.
But the one that he says, like, oh, please watch in this speech,
yeah,
I just quickly like pulled that up and just kind of like skimmed through it, and well, not skimmed through. I actually watched it. It's all crap, by the way, just to let you know.
No,
allegedly, of course.
What I thought when I pulled it up to see what he was actually trying to push, and I'm like, what are you even? What? That's not it. Just stop it.
Showed like the Tianjin explosion in China. It's like, yeah. Anyway,
right. So okay, what's done with that little article? Because then, like I said, there's the video of him at the bottom. If you know how to listen to or speak Ukrainian, I'm assuming that's what it is. You can totally
you're
hit up that video.
assuming.
Well, it could be Yiddish. We don't know. I don't know how to speak any of it or read any of it, so you just assume.
Oh my.
Okay.
Anyway,
So,
enough with your Jew jokes. Let's
oh, I suppose that's what Yiddish really is, isn't it?
You just realized this. He's like, oh no, I just realized I was I was an anti-Semite and I didn't even know it. Thank God for the lefties who teach us about microaggressions.
So this guy, we're not going to listen to all the questions. We're just going to listen to his opening statement. His opening statement's only like 2 minutes long. The other hour is, I mean, you see this, look at how much time is at the end. Grimm's clipped. Hey, buddy. I'm an anti-Semite.
Oh God. Yeah, you better not get into a fight with Grimm. He'll like post that up there and like freaking to YouTube. He'll be like, YouTube.
So Ned here goes and kind of breaks it down really quick
golly,
and easy
Ned.
in his statement. Yeah, Ned. He kind of breaks it down pretty quick and easy in his statement on exactly what was signed and given to Ukraine.
Grimm. Oh God.
Let's throw those up there on the screen here.
Yeah, just throw that up on the screen there. Yeah, now we have him clipped, right? Like, there's his chat, and he says, "I'm an anti-Semite."
Yep, that's his quote.
That's it. Koolfrogg's like, "Yeah, I got it. I can throw it right back."
That's his quote.
Memes inbound. Take cover.
Hey man, if it gets me a follower, okay, I guess.
Hey, even bad press is still press, right?
Hey, yeah, get my name out there. Okay, let's listen to what Ned has to say here. Listen to the amount of stuff that they're giving these guys.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi.
One element at the top, and then I look forward to your questions. As the president said today, America stands with the forces of freedom in Ukraine. To that end, we are leading the effort to isolate President Putin on the global stage, while also simultaneously strengthening Ukraine's hand at the negotiating table. What's at stake here are the principles of freedom, the right to determine one's own future, a right that Ukrainians have shown the world they will fight to deserve. In recent weeks, the United States has sent $300 million in humanitarian aid, tens of thousands of tons of food and medicine for displaced families fleeing Russia's premeditated, unprovoked, and unjustified war. U.S. humanitarian aid personnel are on the ground in the region, assessing needs in real time. And just as President Biden pledged we would, we have also surged security assistance to our Ukrainian partners so that they can defend themselves. As Russia began its military buildup last year, the United States delivered $650 million in military equipment to Ukraine, building on a growing security cooperation relationship dating back to 2014.
Yeah, did they pay for that?
We sped,
or did we just throw it at them?
Maybe we just threw it at them.
Of course they didn't pay for it.
More in equipment to help
bolster
Ukraine's defenses. Now, this week, we are authorizing $1 billion more.
$1 billion more? How great would it be if he slipped and said, we shipped $600 million in biological? I mean, maybe he forgot about that part.
Of arms and equipment, including types already used successfully by Ukraine's security forces to defend their country against Russian aggression.
Biological research, We have biological research,
Mm-hmm.
I'm Victoria Newland, you see. Anyway.
Arms and equipment, including types already used
insufferable
by Ukraine security forces to defend their country against Russian aggression.
And golly, Ned here's a bitch too, but what the hell?
Total security assistance to Ukraine since the beginning of the administration to more than $2 billion, enabling us to surge additional needed assistance, including anti-aircraft, anti-tank, anti-armor systems, as well as small arms and munitions used by Ukrainian security forces on the ground right now in their fight to defend their country. Among the items included in this new package are 800 Stinger anti-aircraft systems, 2,000 Javelin, 1,000 light anti-armor weapons.
So that was 800 Stingers? That's not enough. Grimsbar says, every time he says we sent X dollars and authorized X dollars, they're saying you're being charged 125 million.
And 6,000 AT-4 anti-armor systems, 100 tactical unmanned aerial systems, 100 grenade launchers, 500 rifles.
I think that was supposed to be the greater than side, maybe. I don't know. Greater than 125 million. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, we're being charged for all that.
It could be greater than, it could be less than, it could be anything close to.
Oh, workers. Okay, so there was a word he left out. $/workers.
$/125 million workers. Oh, sure. That might make sense. That's, you got to have people to actually, use the equipment.
Unmanned aerial systems, 100 grenade launchers, 500 rifles, 1,000 pistols, 400 machine guns, and 400 shotguns, in addition to over 200 million rounds of small arms and ammunition and grenade launcher and mortar rounds.
Meanwhile, they take away guns and rounds from us in our country, so you can't go and get ammo yourself so you can defend yourself. But what the hell?
Oh, okay. He's looking at a divided symbol is what he's doing there. So it's the dollars divided by number of workers is how much per person. So that one up there for everybody.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that's what he meant. Didn't quite understand that, but okay.
Yeah, we're getting you now. We're understanding. We're deciphering your text.
We're picking up what you're putting down.
Right.
Million rounds of small arms and ammunition and grenade launcher and mortar
rounds. Couldn't do it before, but we can do it now.
In addition to the U.S.-produced short-range air defense systems the Ukrainians have been using to great effect, the United States has also identified and is helping the Ukrainians acquire from our partners and allies additional long-range systems on which Ukraine's forces are already trained, as well as additional munitions for those systems.
Oh,
the United States continues to
wait a minute. He just said that they're already trained for long-range systems. But I thought that Putin said that, oh, well, they're like 5 minutes away from Moscow if they set off a rocket or something, right? It's like, oh, well, I thought they didn't have access to any of that. They don't know what the hell that is. They've never seen one of those before. Oh, wait.
Grims versus, are you a lawyer? Because your math is terrible.
Who's math? Me or Golly Ned here?
I don't know who he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about this guy.
Oh, Golly Ned.
Training months. Yes, it does. Right. Every single piece of equipment that's getting shipped, it doesn't matter that it's getting all sent or whatever. Each
but I mean,
taught how to actually use it properly. Right. Without teaching them how to use it properly, you create other things.
Yeah, you're sending people out to die, basically. But I mean, if they're just using, those flat wooden guns, I mean, that doesn't take too long to
You can't just airdrop a bunch of equipment and be like, yep, there you go. Have fun. No, that's not how it works. You don't just pull troops out of a country and just leave everything there. You don't, there's just certain things that you don't do with equipment.
You don't say.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into it or we can get into it. Right? Okay, so I backed it up like 15, 20 seconds here. So we're going to hear the list of equipment again a little bit.
Million rounds of small arms and ammunition and grenade launcher and mortar rounds and more. In addition to the U.S.-produced short-range air defense systems.
Did you guys hear about the volunteers having their passports taken and destroyed? They were then threatened to be shot if they don't follow UKR orders.
I did not hear
Look at
that.
Ukrainian orders.
Right now, but you keep
No,
playing.
I did not hear about that HEAR here. Did not. I'm guessing that's what he was asking. Ready? We're gonna hit this play button.
The Ukrainians have been using to great effect. The United States has also identified and is helping the Ukrainians acquire from our partners and allies additional longer-range systems on which Ukraine's forces are already trained.
Additional long-range things that are where they're already trained. Koolfrogg said he's going to drop us some links in the morning. Nice.
As well as additional munitions for those systems. The United States continues to expedite the authorization and facilitation of additional assistance to Ukraine from our allies. At least 30 countries have provided security assistance to Ukraine since the Russian invasion began. In 2022, this year, the Department of State has authorized third-party transfers of defensive equipment from more than 14 countries, a number that continues to grow as allies and partners increase their support to Ukraine. As the President...
Grimsbar said this is Mahajiden 2.0 FFS. I don't know if I know what that is.
It's Mujahideen.
Do you know what is that? At least 30 countries. You mean NATO?
Yeah.
Yes.
An
interesting way to say that. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to back this up again.
Transfers of defensive equipment from more than 14 countries.
And then, all the allied non-NATO countries, 14.
Number that continues to grow as allies and partners increase their support to Ukraine. As the President said, this could be a long and difficult battle, but America will be steadfast. America will continue to answer the call. The United States, our allies and partners, we are united in supporting Ukraine in its time of need. With that, happy to take your questions.
We're not going to listen to the questions that they ask because we don't really need to know about anything about those questions coming up. It takes you down even more of a hole. It confuses you because the questions that they ask is supposed to asking why are we there? What does this have to do with us? Like that, they're asking questions is like, why are you only sending this many and not this and not that? And it's like they keep on asking the same questions. Like they need particular, why didn't you send this? Why didn't you send this amount? There was a couple more clips that we were going to actually show here. So this guy, he kind of gets his, it's a funny little clip. I found it very interesting. That's the reason that I added it. I don't know if it kind of pertains to what's going on. Church, you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
The gentlelady, for what purpose does Mr. Tiffany seek recognition?
Move to strike the last word.
Gentleman is recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In spite of that radicalization, I still do not believe MSNBC should be taken off the air that they're doing to the American people. Let's be real clear about the apology in regards to the National School Boards Association. Why did they do that? They took the fall. They took the fall, and that's why the Attorney General should come back in and answer the questions that my colleagues have stated quite eloquently here, why Attorney General Garland should get back here. The School Boards Association just took the fall for what was happening within the Biden administration, and in particular with the Attorney General's office. The gentlelady from Texas did her roll call, and I'd like to build on some of the comments that Representative Bishop made. She did this roll call. She did not include the Bernie Sanders supporter that came and shot up some of our colleagues just a few years ago almost killing the whip that serves here on the Republican side of the Republican side of the dais. And we can do this tit for tat stuff. I mean, we can just keep doing it back and forth and whatever. But that doesn't solve what the American people want to see happen. They want to see murders go down in the United States of America. They want to see violent crime go down in the United States of America, regardless of what their ethnicity is, regardless of what their color is. They want to see crime reduced. But that's not what we're dealing with today. And I just hark back to, 2 weeks ago, when we had the President's State of the Union. He said, we're going to fund the police. Well, for all of you out there in America right now, it's very clear that that was simply lip service, because the people that are driving the train at this point on the other side of the aisle, they have no interest in additional funding for police. They have no interest in supporting law enforcement, and you can tell by their priorities with having a bill like this come before us today. And I want to know why we're not having a hearing on what woke prosecutors are doing across America, because as much as we talk about, I mean, our governor recently announced there's going to be a big grant for law enforcement or whatever, but he didn't do anything about the prosecutors, which, by the way, he could relieve them for not doing their jobs, like the prosecutor in Milwaukee County. I will repeat to you, back in 2007, when he started his job as the district attorney in Milwaukee County, he said publicly, yep, we may divert some people that should perhaps be behind bars, and they may kill somebody, you bet, guaranteed, that's going to happen, but that does not invalidate the approach. Does not invalidate the approach that he took that ended up with 5 deaths at a Christmas parade in Waukesha County, Wisconsin. Why aren't we having a hearing on prosecutors? Why don't we bring the Attorney General in and have him talk about prosecutors that are not prosecuting crime, that is leading to a diminishment in the way of life for the people here in the United States? I would just close by saying this. I look up at that staff, that shield that is right in front of us here. I look at that shield that's up there that says E pluribus unum. And what is this hearing about today on this bill? It's about dividing people. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. I hope this committee will get back to trying to bring the American people together rather than dividing us. I yield back.
As it should. The man says it the way it actually should be. People do not treat each other with respect. People do not give a crap about other people at all. But, you know, I really don't know why I added that one in this series. It didn't really have too much to really do with the rest of it. Other than the fact that, you know, he just kind of said Trump did more for the people than what our current president is doing. Because he's dragging us into this ridiculousness.
That indeed.
And that's pretty much where the point was on the video was that it was the fact of pointing out our president and his mishaps and everything that he's done, and going along with Zelenskyy and what Ukraine supposedly needs to keep them relevant, because somebody wants to move them from the face of the planet. I mean, I'm not for either side of that. I don't think. I don't. That's again. Why are we there? It has nothing to do with us.
Thank you, Rob. President Zelensky's address this morning was powerful and it was compelling. The world is inspired by his leadership and inspired by the incredible courage of the Ukrainian people defending their homeland. As we have seen these horrific images of the carnage of the human life, of the murders Vladimir Putin is carrying out in Ukraine, what is so frustrating is that this was entirely preventable. This war didn't have to happen, the most significant war in Europe since 1945, since the end of World War II. There were two specific mistakes made by the White House that caused this war. Number one, the disastrous retreat and surrender in Afghanistan that emboldened America's enemies. And number two, tragically, the White House's decision to waive sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and to surrender to Putin, allowing him to complete that pipeline, which was the direct precipitating cause of this invasion. 2 weeks ago, when every member of Congress was on the video conference call with President Zelensky, he told all of us, if the United States had sanctioned Nord Stream 2 last year, Putin would not have invaded. It was the White House's political decision to waive those sanctions that caused this invasion. What should we be doing now? Two things. Number one, the United States should be providing lethal military aid, far more than we are currently providing. We should be providing Stingers, we should be providing Javelins, we should be providing drones. And most critically, we should be providing fighter jets. President Zelensky has said fighter jets are his top priority. It's what he needs most. Poland has offered up the MiGs that the Ukrainian pilots know how to fly, and Joe Biden personally vetoed those MiGs going to Ukraine. President Biden should allow those MiGs to go to Ukraine today. Not flown by American pilots. We should not put them.
Why? Why do we need to? So you can see it's not just one side that's corrupt. It's both sides. The whole freaking bird is goddamn corrupt. And they're just going to sit there and they're going to push ridiculousness. Why do we need to send MiGs from Poland to?
I don't think Ted Cruz is corrupt. I just think he believes the bullshit. I think he believes all the Ukraine bullshit, and he's just going right along with it because he thinks, oh, yes, this is great. This is grand. We need to do something. He's just like full-blown emotional. He's just like caught up in it all. I don't think he understands exactly what's flying out of his mouth, and that is reprehensible right there. Like if you can't control yourself,
dangerous if anything.
Yes.
What the?
Yes. So I don't really think he himself is that corrupt. This individual,
you can see he's not like the majority or whatever. He doesn't have a lapel pin on. He doesn't have. He's not, throwing flashy colors to have yellow or blue.
Right, but he sees this video and he sees Vladimir Zelensky and he's like, "Oh my God!"
Right. He just told me that I needed to help him. I feel the need to proceed.
Okay. Ukraine today. Not flown by American pilots. We should not put American servicemen and women in harm's way, but flown by Ukrainian pilots so that the Ukrainian people can defend their homeland
see there,
from
right?
Putin's
like
aggression.
He's still wanting to hang on to that side of it of like, oh no, we shouldn't get personally involved, right? Like we shouldn't send our people over there, but like, yeah, we should still be involved in some way because, oh my God, that video. It's like, what the hell? Like you can't just split this down the middle and say that, I mean, we're either involved or we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we don't have people, but still, like, our involvement is still there. We don't need to be involved at all. At all.
It has nothing to do with us. Absolutely zero. I mean, why do we always have to get in everybody else's conflicts?
Because globalism. Allegedly, of course.
But we're always, I'm confused. I'm confused on who's the globalists and who's not, and who's trying to become what?
He's just brainwashed at this point, I think. Like just by this
this
thing
guy,
here, like
yeah,
it's
he's
just he's just
brainwashed.
completely like emotionally brainwashed. It's like after that video, it's just like, oh my god. It's like turned into a woman, I guess, or something. And it's like, we have to give them this, and we have to. And he's not like thinking like some pregnant hormonal woman who's like spazzing out like, I need sardines. Like, I mean, it's like, can you calm the hell down? You're supposed to be a senator. It's like, oh, but the video. It's like, listen, if you're gonna go that batshit, like maybe you need to leave. Like maybe you just need to leave. Like you're pretty damn good at everything else. It's like, but if this is the way you're gonna react to this, like maybe you just need to leave and someone else with better temperament should come in. Like if this is the way you're going to be, maybe you should just walk away from your position. You've done a good job for most of your time there, Mr. Ted Cruz. You've done a nice job. But if this is the way you're going to act, and if you're going to lose it, like maybe we should just have you, step aside for now.
So being that we got this guy on the screen and he's just kind of sitting there, do you think this guy runs for president again?
Wait, say that again? What do you mean?
Do you think he'll run for president?
Oh, Ted Cruz?
Do you think I mean, do they do anything other than just put the obvious in place? Do they try running a Republican
I don't think they will. I think they're going to
in place.
Right. I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to try even at this point.
So maybe we'll see a fight between this guy and another 4 years.
Possibly.
2028.
Possibly, yeah.
You see this guy trying to run?
Maybe. Depends on how old he is, I guess, but maybe.
Depends on.
Well, he's not that old right now anyway, so like maybe you might be right. Maybe he would do that later on, but I don't know.
There's other factors, obviously. If they put the obvious in place and the obvious doesn't win it, does the obvious try coming back again? Or would he just finally say, okay, I'm too old, I can't do this?
I think it would be a little bit of like him saying that and other people probably saying that.
I mean, not to, knock on wood, whatever. But I really think that the obvious really would. I don't know. I think he beats any opposition this time around, but I could be wrong.
We need to take away Putin's revenue from oil and gas. Vladimir Putin is a petro tyrant. This war is being funded by his sales of oil and gas. Putin believes Europe is addicted to Russian oil and gas. Biden should unleash American production.
So Putin goes and takes Ukraine, takes over the largest power plant, nuclear power plant in the continent of Europe, shuts it down, and makes everybody run off of the oil that he's producing. I mean, sounds cruel.
To step in and take European customers away, our European allies should sign long-term contracts with American oil and gas producers or with our allies and take that revenue away from Putin, defund his war. Biden, unfortunately, does not believe victory is possible. The Biden team is resigned to failure to Putin's winning. Putin can be defeated, but only if we stand with our Ukrainian allies, we provide them with the weapons they need to defend themselves, and we take away Putin's revenue from oil and gas. That is the path to victory.
Really? That's the path to victory? You think so, Ted Cruz?
I am so pissed right now. I was just I was watching that as well in the other video, but in between there, I was catching some of the thing that Grim was talking about. He said, like, did you see volunteers, passports being taken, so forth. I was watching a guy that claims to be an American that went to Ukraine voluntarily. I'm very pissed. If anybody is listening to this, you should go look at that for yourself. That is, anyway.
Not
That's
if you're
insane.
listening. Everybody that is listening should actually go take a look at that when you're done with this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just look up on I would say like a Brave browser or a DuckDuckGo. I don't know if DuckDuckGo has all of their sensors in just yet, but something where you can at least find it and pull it up. I know some people disapprove of Brave browser, but you know.
So we're gonna do this one. This is a little 3 minute and 13 seconds. And TDS is still a thing.
Oh yes, of course it is.
TDS is a big thing. It's amazing.
Thank you, Jen. Just one more, and a lot of people have asked about the MiGs, but can you lay out for us why the administration sees MiGs as provocative and javelins and stingers as not provocative?
Well, first, javelins and stingers are defensive weapons. MiGs or planes are offensive weapons, which are
Jimmy YouTube says he's going to bed and have a good night. You have a good night, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, have a good night there. Have a good night. No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully you get some good rest. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody should check out Jimmy YouTube. He's got some links that will be down below in the description at Anime Rich, Real Anime Rich, at, I don't remember all his ads.
Atta.
At Jimmy YouTube on YouTube.
Atlas Pass on TikTok.
And Atlas Pass at TikTok, and as well as somewhere else. I can't remember everywhere. But yeah, you should totally check him out. He's got, links down below. If they're not there right now, they will be. I promise. After the show.
a different type of military system. I would say the other assessment that we've done, not through here, not through the White House, not through the President, from the Department of Defense, is to assess what is effective, what works in terms of fighting this war on the ground. And that is why we provide an additional $1 billion, $800 million announced today, but $1 billion this week of a
800, but $1 billion.
Assistance, utilizing a number of the high-level military systems, Stinger, javelins, counter-artillery, counter-mortar radar, anti-armor systems that we know have been effective and we know the Ukrainians are trained on. Third, Ukraine's Air Force already has several squadrons of mission-capable aircraft, and giving them more would not significantly change their effectiveness. And finally, I touched on this in the beginning, offensive versus defensive, but we also do risk assessments from the Department of Defense about what would be escalatory, and that is obviously what we would like to avoid.
John Kirby has said that success for the U.S. mission in Ukraine is a free, independent, sovereign Ukraine. We've also heard that the official mission is to prevent escalation beyond Ukraine.
Yeah, like we've done such a good job of that.
Both are true.
If we're not specific about what exactly the desired outcome is, how do we expect to be able to...
Why could both not be true? A sovereign Ukraine and preventing them from expanding beyond.
Okay. And then moving on to the nuclear deal. General McKenzie told the Armed Services Committee that from everything that he can see, the IRGC is a terrorist organization. Is the White House willing to delist the IRGC from the foreign terrorist organization list in order to get a deal with Iran?
We're still in the negotiations, so I'm not going to speculate or outline from here what the final details look like.
And these are likely the the group responsible for firing missiles at U.S. facilities in Iraq. So as long as Americans aren't killed, are there no consequences for something like that, all in an effort to get a nuclear deal?
Again, you're speculating on something that is not even finalized. The deal is not finalized. What I would note, and I would just go back to why we're negotiating this deal. And right now we're negotiating this deal because Iran's nuclear gains are threatening U.S. interests. There's urgency to taking steps to contain that, which is why we've been engaged so closely. And that is all the result of President Trump pulling out of the deal and Iran moving closer to having the capacity and acquiring a nuclear weapon and speeding up their breakout time. So we are here thanks to the actions of the last president and the last administration. And it is in our interest, it is in the global interest to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon. Go ahead, Kristen.
Of course, the globalist.
That woman pisses me off just as much as anybody. She seriously, I can't wait till she's done. I thought she's supposed to take off midterms here or something.
Oh, she's great for us though, because like there's all this content people can make off of her, right? I mean, she pisses us off.
I'm sure the next one's going to be just as bad.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
And it'll probably be in blackface. You know?
Could have sworn there
allegedly
was about like midterm whatever she was going to actually take off. Like she was only going to do this for the 2 years.
Yeah, well, she's been a press secretary in the State Department. She was Obama's personal press secretary. Right. Now she's this. I don't really see her moving too many other places outside of being a spokeswoman and a press secretary.
Pretty sure she's like made enough and she's willing to finally just go home and take care of the kids.
Oh yeah, with her husband, the ham.
That thing does have kids. Yes.
Yes, Chucky has children. Sadly, there's poor children. They're probably tortured every night. Anyway, allegedly, of course, right?
This clip here. Oh my Lord! This one, I watched the whole press briefing this afternoon or whatever. This is at the very, very end. Now, I'm going to set this one up a little bit because I believe it's not actually there. So just before she goes and answers this question, somebody in the back says, "Hey, in the back." And she says, "Yeah, we'll get to you in a minute. Hold on, let's get this question," or whatever. And then, did you watch this?
No, I haven't watched this.
Okay. Okay, this is funny.
I can hear, but go ahead.
Thank you, Jay. You put out a list of all of the military included in that $800 million that's being provided to Ukraine. Among those items, let me read them to you: 100 grenade launchers, 5,000 rifles, 1,000 pistols, 400 machine guns, and 400 shotguns. Are you saying those items are not offensive weapons?
They're weapons that help the Ukrainian people fight against an invasion by a foreign country.
They can be used offensively, can they not?
Again, they're weapons. What I'm talking about is weapons that can be used to fight.
The answer is yes. I mean, although you don't want to say it, that answer to that question is yes. And so, obviously, you're trying to make this distinction between offensive.
Well, what we're talking about. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Well,
let me finish my answer.
No, you aren't. No, I was finishing a point, and then you can respond to my.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, you're making this distinction between offensive and defensive weapons. Anybody that looks at that list of weapons that I just mentioned, they would say clearly they're offensive. If a Ukrainian military officer or someone who is enlisted has one of these weapons, they can take out a Russian military official of some sort with these weapons. They're offensive in nature. So why not provide more offensive weapons like this to the Ukrainian military?
Well, first of all, we are providing a range of rifles, etc. There is a difference between a plane and planes and massive military systems. I think anybody would recognize this. And what we're talking about, which is giving rifles and pistols to many of them farmers and people living in countrysides to defend themselves. I think there's a difference that most people recognize.
Oh, but take it away from our farmers in our countrysides from taking. Oh, and then she slams everything shut.
She goes and she slams it because she just got freaking pwned and she.
Yeah, because that guy out there is like, oh yeah, I'm more of a globalist than you, and she's like, no, I'm more of a globalist. I'm more.
He's like, no.
Klaus Schwab loves me more. No, he loves me more. That's what this is.
But yeah, she goes and she storms off immediately.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a nice day.
She looks down for her mask and she just takes off.
God.
But again, to answer the guy's question, because he didn't get his question really answered, because she doesn't know how to answer anybody correctly, or even with any kind of punctuation. She's just ridiculous. She just kind of, well, this and that and the other. This, that, and the other yourself. Quit asking other people, making me go ask somebody else for your answers. You're the press secretary. That's up to you to get the answers for the press. Oh, really? You don't say.
You don't say.
She's just ridiculous. But she didn't answer his question, did she?
Well, generally, a mass murderous ragdoll isn't going to be very, isn't going to be very straightforward, I don't think.
No. She's,
allegedly, right?
She never will. She's just the way she's programmed to answer everything. Don't answer anything directly. Give a roundabout answer.
We'll circle back.
Stop saying circle back, because we'll meme the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, her handlers are like, the meme cannons, they keep firing. We're being bombarded from all sides. You've got to stop. The memes, they're too intense. They're too much. They're too much.
And seriously, I didn't have anything left. That was all I really had. I didn't, I was like the little bit of time that I had to actually go dig stuff up, I was excitedly happy that I had come up with the stuff that I did. And it actually gives us an hour and a half worth of content. So, I mean, I can be excitedly happy about that, I guess. The one clip in the center really didn't, it should have been at the end, because it was pretty much, I mean, it didn't really matter, I guess. Maybe not even in there at all. But we'll see what happens with our new possible following of Dwight Zombie. Thanks for joining us. He let us know that there was a little bit of a stream lag on the Twitch side. So I don't know, maybe if there's some kind of a setting that I can change to actually make that not happen. So that way we can give our not left following something to actually watch. Because he was happy that we weren't left. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some playing, I guess. So
yeah, I'll play around over there.
Yeah, all that being said, AmericaShotsAreFirst.com.
The most beast t-shirts on the planet.
You got any new t-shirts?
Yes, I do. Ooh. I got two of those. It's the same new ones. It's been out for like a week or two.
Okay. Let's check it out anyway, because I don't think we've shot it in at least a week.
You know, the jabbies.
Yeah, we'll see if we can pull up your website, maybe.
Yeah, but you get 15% 15% off any shirt in that store by using the discount code Koolfrogg. Get 15% off any shirt in that store.
This one. This one. She's got a Locals and he's got a Rumble. He's got an Odyssey. Did you get the Odyssey fixed?
No, I didn't get the Odyssey fixed, unfortunately. But Locals and Rumble is up and running and very awesome, by the way. I got tons of views on Rumble.
That's
so
awesome.
go check my Rumble out, folks.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
And if anybody is watching this that's from the Rumble that's made it over here, thank you very much for doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. If you made it over here and you found us over here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below.
Yeah.
Totally bump that button. You hit that button and you're interested, you can hit up any of us, myself, America Shirts, Jimmy YouTube, he was in chat. Grams Bar, he was in chat. You can hit up any of us and we can actually help you out with getting you hooked up with a Discord link. You see these? Look at that. It's not a vax, it's a bioweapon.
What? Allegedly.
Oh. Really?
Right?
I don't know about that. That's kind of a fun looking shirt though. Anybody that, seriously should go check these out. These are fun.
And anybody that sees you wearing these shirts is going to see the truth.
See, I'm a fan of the color orange. This shirt, I might have to actually get one.
You just may have to.
I'm gonna have to go that big though. Holy man! Do you know that they run a little big or? Do they run true?
They run true to size.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
That's what you meant. Yeah, they
that's
run true
not
to
really
size.
a bad price. And then you said 15% with that promo code.
Yep.
Of Koolfrogg. That's KOOLFROGG. That's me. I'm Koolfrogg. You can follow me almost anywhere. You can go to Linktree/Koolfrogg. Follow there's plenty of ways to follow me. If you feel like you want to actually support me immediately, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. Anything that's actually left in the Buy Me a Coffee will actually be put towards this show and will actually be used to hopefully make more and do more, just like anybody else that has a YouTube channel brought to you by you.
Yep. Oh, and my Rumble channel is just America Shirts, by the way.
Yeah, America Shirts.
Just as you see it on the screen.
How many Rumbles you got on that last one, your last series you put out? You said you put a series of 3 out?
I'm gonna put up. Well, it's a 3-part topic on the latest that's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and it's the same topic. It's the same thing of everything. Basically, it's going to be about everything's a lie that you hear.
The only thing that you can talk about right now, because that's the only thing. I mean, is seriously that's what's going on. Everybody's wanting to know more information about what's going on with Ukraine, and that's what we're all trying to do. Everybody's trying to get their 2 cents and get you your information and let you know what actually was said and how it was done.
Yeah. So, yeah, there that is. Go check me out. It's just America Shirts as you see it spelled out here all together. America Shirts.
You got your screen up?
Oh, no, I don't have that up.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, I guess I could.
It don't matter. Unless you can totally share it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here it is.
Yep, this is my channel, and those are the videos so far. Of course, those two are documentaries that are a no-no on YouTube now, because they're too truthful. But as you can see, there's a great many views.
Nice.
So go check it out. I am legit. So
That's awesome.
So yeah, there that is. So go check it out. Keep watching this live stream. And I am on here, again, most nights.
Most nights.
So
yeah. I'm getting ready to actually, personal life is actually kind of being is exciting. I'm moving. So, after the next about month's worth of content, there might be a little bit of a lull where there might not be anything for a little bit till I can get myself situated with services and stuff. I don't know how long that's going to take, how long things are going to go. It's going to be an interesting road.
Yeah.
Get out of this
that it is.
horrible state of Minnesota. Anybody that's out there that knows anything about the state of Minnesota, and you understand how horrible, how communistic the state is, you get it. You be like, yep, get out of here, leave. I mean, obviously, some people stick around for particular reasons. Like, oh, I like my job, and I live really close to it, so it makes it bearable. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's not, no. Just leave. Leave it to the hoodlums.
Yeah.
The Rugrats. Okay. All that being said, like I said, Linktree/Koolfrogg. Links will be in the description shortly. You want to help me out right away? buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg.
Coffee. Get him several coffees there. He's probably going to need it,
Buy shirt from AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com.
Oh, well, thank you for that, Shill.
Don't forget to do that. Don't forget Jimmy YouTube. He'll be in the description down below, and Grimm's Bar will also be in the description down below. They have their own channels, and they do produce their own content. Some more often than others, but they still do, and you can always show love for their stuff as well. All right, folks. Have a good night.
Later, peeps.
Leave you with...
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.